Good evening, everyone, and welcome to pre-semi-final. Who's that in the dark with a mice hat on? Is that you, Thatch?
It is.
Hiding in your car or something?
I am in my car.
That's why it's so dark.
Hmm.
It's dark outside and all that. Is that where you get the best internet, is it?
No, it's just the quietest.
Fair enough. So yeah, tonight we're going to be talking about preparation for the semi-final this weekend between the two teams. There's two things we're going to cover. The first one will be what the differences are in terms of the way the actual game rules themselves work, because obviously there has to be a result. Rounds throughout the season, there are it can be a draw, and that's okay. In a semi-final and a grand final, there is guaranteed to be a result. How does that happen?
The result, you mean?
Hmm.
Overtime, penalties.
Time and then penalty shootouts, or rather, a shootout's not technically a penalty shootout, but yeah. So the game itself works in the same way that every other game works. It's usual 5-on-5 hockey for the three 16-minute periods or whatever they are. Nothing's different about that. And if at the end of that time the two teams are tied up on the same number of points, you then go to 5 minutes of sudden death overtime with no stop time. What that means is you get 5 minutes. Whoever scores the first goal wins, if any goals are scored. Now, in all my time of having coached 3-on-3, there's never actually been a result determined in that it's gone to a penalty shootout, which is surprising. Why is that surprising?
Is it because someone's always scored a goal?
No, no one's ever scored a goal. Otherwise, it wouldn't have gone to. It would have finished, wouldn't it?
More space, more opportunity for breakouts.
Yeah. What happens though? Why do you think it gets harder or it gets so difficult to score a goal in 3-on-3 sudden death overtime, despite the fact there's all that extra real estate?
Possession game, and we're not skilled enough to really exploit that.
Yeah, that's a big part of it. What else? That's a huge part of it. Absolutely. What's the other thing do you reckon?
You're afraid of getting scored on.
Yeah, partially that'd be part of it. What's the really, really big factor?
Practice.
Say again.
We do not have any practices on this.
We haven't practiced it very much. We did practice it at the last training session, though, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
Make it. We did do a bit of 3-on-3. But what's the really, really, really big thing?
Fatigue.
You're all gassed. You've just played three 16-minute periods of a final, and what do we know about finals? They're harder, they're more intense. And how tired are you?
Very.
Now, all of a sudden, you're tired, and you've got all this extra space. Do you reckon you can use it? Everyone's falling over because they're so tired.
We'd hope so, but according to your statistics, not.
It's certainly not what we've seen. And I showed you, I don't know how early you all tuned in, but I just showed you those two semi-finals in a row for back when we were the Bad Shepherds, which was the first couple of seasons of the Dev Squad way back in pre-COVID. Anyway, 2019 or whatever it was, or 2018 when the whole program started. And yeah, everyone was gassed, so tired. There's another factor as well that's part of that. It's not just that we're tired. What else has happened? This is a bit of a subtle one.
I know the emotional aspect of running out of draw and then having to regroup and go again.
Absolutely, that's significant. But that kind of ties into fatigue as well, doesn't it? I mean, they're all kind of related. There's another factor though that comes into play, and again, it's a little subtle. I'll give you a minute or two to see if anyone can guess what it is or know what it is, and then I'll let you know if you get stuck. Katie might know. She's been around a while. No idea.
Something to do with the goalie?
Say again. You're not supposed to answer these questions.
That there's something to do with the goalie?
You be shush.
Right?
You shush now.
Oh, sorry.
You're coaching, and so you're not supposed to.
Something to do with the goalie.
Not really. Although
Sorry.
the goalies are also really tired.
I was just being a dick. Sorry.
That was a good guess, Scott. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Dan.
Goalies are very tired, depending on how many shots they've had. In the grand final, and when we played against the big deals, we outshot them 2-1. Their goalie was knackered. She was absolutely toast, but she managed to make some saves. And then we probably stalled the last 30 seconds or so because they got a face off where we didn't want it. But anyway, it's not stop time. One more factor. See if you can guess what it is.
Poor changes.
Nope.
Nope. Okay.
Although it is harder to get changes in 3-on-3 because there's less opportunities, but you still got to do it. In fact, it's more important than you do it than ever. Because if you're gassed and you can't spin the length of the ice, is that a problem?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it because there's less people on the ice? It's harder to create more opportunities, and it's easier for the goalies to see what's coming because with that little amount of people, it's harder to crowd.
It's certainly easier for the goalies to see what's happening. I'd agree with that. What happens to the rink?
Structure, Carl? Like,
Sort of. That's related to it being 3-on-3, which you're not used to. What happens to the rink?
It's
gets
much
really
bigger.
big.
Less passing options.
More passing options. There's more space.
The ice is probably cut up a bit more.
Probably kind of works itself out. What happens to the rink?
The ice is cut up.
Yep, the ice is cut up. Is the ice cut up a bit?
No.
The ice is cut up a lot. It's the end of the game. Normally what happens at the end of the game, the ZAM comes out and gives us a resurface, and then we'll get nice fresh ice. At the end of the game, and then into overtime, what have we got all over the surface of the ice?
Lush.
What else?
Water.
Not so much water. Well, I mean, it is technically water, but
Holes and divots.
holes, divots, snow everywhere. It's really slow. So the puck slows down. At the start of the game, it's really easy to fling a puck from one end to the other, and at the end, it's harder because the ice has gotten rough. In overtime, you've got rough, slow ice, and that slows it down. So with all those things in mind, what then becomes a way to play 3-on-3?
Skating over passing.
Carry the puck more. And if you are going to pass, make them short passes, which is what we should be doing anyway, but it's even more important. You don't want to go for some great big long stretch pass because the ice is really slow and chances are it'll get caught or intercepted or you'll lose possession or it'll be a bad pass or whatever. And these are things that we all know anyway, so they're fundamental to our game. But in overtime, it becomes even more important because we're tired. Our passes won't be precise because we're tired. Also, the ice itself will be slow. So the puck won't move as quickly as we want. It may stop. Part the way along, if we're going for a long pass, it might not make it at all, unless we've got a pretty decent pass on us, and very few of you do yet. That'll come as you improve at the game. But that makes a big difference too. So there's all these little things that conspire to make 3-on-3 quite more challenging even than you'd think, and why you're less likely to score than again you would think is the case. So how do we as a squad manage that?
Maybe try to stick when you're moving towards your end of the goals, stay closer together so you're not making such long passes. So shorter, sharper passes rather than trying to ice it up the other end where it's going to slow down.
We certainly don't want to ice it, do we?
No.
Normally, we're quite happy to ice the puck, aren't we? If we ice the puck, what happens?
D-zone face-off.
They get possession.
Face-offs in normal 5-on-5 hockey.
D-zone face-off.
Yeah, what do we know about it, though? In normal 5-on-5 hockey, what do we consider the D-zone face-off to be?
Best opportunity for a breakaway.
3-on-3?
Nope.
No. In 3-on-3, it's a 50-50 raffle, and the other team has all the time and space in the world if they get it. So a D-zone face-off is not desirable when we're playing 3-on-3. So we don't want to ice the puck. What's the other thing about icing the puck that's bad? If we don't actually ice it, but we try to ice it, what then happens?
You're going to waste the time. There's no stop time. You're going to waste the 5 minutes.
What's even more important than wasting the time?
Turning the puck over.
Yeah, we turn the puck over. We give the
Yeah.
puck back. Oops. We want possession. In 3-on-3, we want possession. We want the puck. Right? It's got to be on your stick or your teammate's stick. That's the most important part of 3-on-3. You must have possession because there's so much room, there's so much space. Can goalies come out and play a bit more in 3-on-3? Puck comes across the blue line. There's no one in your
Yes.
goalie come out and play it.
Sure.
Absolutely. Goalies can be a bit more aggressive in 3-on-3. So, Katie, you can have a little bit of a skate if you want. So too, Phineas, if he's here, is Finn here? I can't see him on the list. No, Phineas isn't here. But something to be mindful of. So when we do come to that, the other very important thing is taking your changing opportunities as often as you possibly can. You think a minute's a long time in 5-on-5, try going 3-on-3 for a minute. It's a nightmare. It's so hard. Has anyone ever played rugby sevens? No? Not so
No.
I played it a few times as a kid when I was playing rugby, and I hated that too because it was just sprinting. You've got a great big rugby field, and there's only 7 of you. Normally, there's 15. It was just crazy. I hated sevens. It was about who fastest. It wasn't about anything else. And to a certain extent, 3-on-3 is like that too. Now, it might not happen. We might end up with a result at the end of regulation, and it might not happen at all. But it's wise to be prepared. So the other part about being prepared for that, and this is something that I want you to do as 2 teams. So get into your group chats after this. I want both teams to work out 3 groups, so 9 players, 3 threes of who's going to play the 5-on-5.
I was just about to say, how do we work out our lines of 3?
As a general rule, and you don't have to do it this way, but this is how I recommend it. You have a winger, a center, and a D. You don't have to. You can structure it other ways if you want, but that's not a bad way to do it. And we want both teams to have that prepared. And I want that you do it in your own group chats. You work it out amongst yourselves. We're not going to do it for you, and we're not going to help. You've had all the help now that you're going to get for it. And we want you to have those lists through to Mia and myself by Friday, ideally by Thursday. So get on your group chats, negotiate, work out who wants to do it. The only criteria that I have is that as much as possible, anyone who wants to do it should be able to do it. And if it comes down to you've got too many players and you've got 2 people, then I don't know, you toss a coin or something. This is not a meritocracy. This is a wantocracy.
How many lines are we doing of 3?
3. 9 players.
9.
And the other thing is once you've done that as well, I then want a list of players to take penalty shots. Because if we get to the end of the 5-on-5, the 3-on-3, and it's not resolved, we then go to penalty shots. And again, it's who wants to do it.
Yep.
And I want those 2 lists from both teams to me by ideally Friday morning. Work it out on your group chats. Give everyone a bit of thinking music to think about it and so forth, but you guys work that out and then you let me know. Okay, so have a representative from both of the teams send me an email with the details of who you want in the 3 groups and an order of people for penalty shots. The minimum number of people for penalty shots is 3, but you can have more. And we would generally prefer that you have more. And again, it's not about who's got the best shot, it's about who wants to do it. Taking the penalty shots, pretty high pressure. Not everyone wants to do that. Not everyone wants that responsibility because it's pretty scary. As Katie, have you ever done a penalty shootout, Katie? Is there anything scarier?
No.
How much pressure's on the goalie? Oh!
Yeah.
Don't muck up.
I think the Women's Social League, I had a couple, and every time the team stuffed up because they changed the rules for that, instead of giving them time in the penalty box, they gave them 1 shot against the goalie.
That's how it worked in the Women's League. They got rid of it.
Yeah. And every time they stuffed up, and I was like, again?
The good part about that rule was it actually gave people a chance to get penalty shots, which they very rarely do.
Yeah.
Lucky to get a penalty shot 1 every 20 games. So no one ever gets a chance to do it. No one really knows what to do. No one's really prepared for it. We did do them at the end of the last training session, so everyone got a few goes at it. I'm sure, Katie, you remember.
Yep.
Much everyone who was at that training session got a chance to do some penalty shots, and we did that specifically so that at least you've seen them before and you've got a vague idea of what to do. We won't get another chance to practice that. But if you go to a stick and puck, for example, it's a great thing to practice. I practice them at stick and pucks all the time. just on the off chance I might very rarely get the opportunity to do it. So I always do 4 or 5 penalty shots at every stick and putt. Because it's also the same as a breakaway, but the move is a pretty similar sort of thing. And I have any goalie who's actually goal kept against me knows exactly what I'm going to do. It's a pretty predictable move, but it works well. Doesn't work every time, but it works pretty well. Except when it's bloody Katie, she was good.
Once or twice.
Hey, you got a lot of practice because Phineas lost his blade.
Yeah. I saw him go off the ice and I was like, oh my God.
Oh, you're up for it. So with that in mind, we'll start talking now about the second bit, which is the mental side of finals hockey. And I'm sure pretty much everyone who's here will have heard this, and it's coaches telling their teams that it's just like any other game. Anyone heard that? Who hasn't heard it? It's probably a better selection. Because I'm going to tell you something for free. That's bullshit. It's not. It's not like other games. It is different. What's different?
Pressure.
Yeah.
A lot of pressure.
And can we pretend that's not there?
No.
Nope.
We're kidding ourselves if we do. So it's a dumb thing. It came out of sports psychology in the 1990s and 1980s when sports psychologists didn't have any idea what they were doing either and were just making stuff up. And it obviously never actually played the games because you could tell the stuff they were telling us. Anyway, you needed to approach that stuff with a level of skepticism. And they were all telling us that the way you prepare for a final or a grand final is just like every other game. And you tell that with a straight face to the players in the group who are like, it's not. It's a grand final. We know it's not. Don't pretend. It's just nuts. So immediately you just ruined your credibility and now your players don't trust you. It's a really, really bad thing to do. Anyway, so we know it's not the same. But what is the same?
The game.
The game itself is the same. Are we going to play it differently?
Somewhat.
How?
Well, we'll have 3-on-3 and
If we get to that, that'll be different. But what about regulation time? Do we do that anymore?
Game plan stays the same.
Game plan's the same.
pressure.
We trust our process. We do what we've done all season. We're not going to pretend that the pressure on us isn't greater because it is. And it's silly to pretend otherwise. You're just bullshitting yourself if you think that's the case. Unless you're really good at hypnosis or something or other, you can hypnotize yourself into being in some sort of Zen mind state or something or other. But then I'd question your ability to play hockey. See, there's one way to hypnotize yourself into being in a different mind space. I'll show you. Scotty knows about this one, don't you, Scotty?
Oh, concussion.
Yeah. I'd like to say this was funny, because concussion's funny. Yeah, is concussion funny?
No.
Fuck no. Are you feeling all right, Carl?
Well, let's kind of. It's one of those really interesting things. Anyway, where are we? First program briefings. Here we go. It's in here under rules and safety, sorted videos. Right.
Is this you in last week's game or?
I will spill the beans in just a second. Chill out. Hold your horses. What happened to Zoom? Where are you? Come back. Come back, Zoom. Share, not the advanced share, share, the simple share. Here we go. Bang. Oh. I was in a Zen state. I had no idea what the game was. I was ready for a grand final. So yeah, that's why I wasn't at the Wednesday night training session. If anyone was at hockey school and was wondering why I wasn't there, the iceHQ is finally, and it's long overdue, but he's finally taking concussion seriously. And Scotty was just on the other side of when they brought in the paperwork. In fact, Scotty, did they give you the form and you just don't remember it?
No. All I did was doing incident report with them.
Okay, so you didn't get this.
No, you did show me that, but I didn't get that.
This is the iceHQ concussion referral form. And if you get a concussion now, you actually they've just in the last couple of weeks trained up, or at least told whether or not that will happen, the referees and the scorers, and also the first aiders about identifying and recognizing concussion or suspected concussion. And then the first aider, who is the rink tech, the ice tech, will assess you, and they've got a bunch of questions they have to ask you on one side of the form, and they fill out the form and they give you the form. And they also notify the rink management, and you are then suspended for 3 weeks minimum. And you have to go see a doctor to get it checked, and then you have to see, and if they confirm that you did have a concussion, you have to wait another 21 days for another check for a doctor before you can resume playing. And you might think, hey, that's a long time, but actually it's as much as and Scotty, you can empathize with this because you went through the same process and you were desperately keen to get back into playing and had to keep saying no. And I want to get back into playing, and I have to say no to myself because we've got to take this stuff seriously. If you do get a concussion, don't tough it out. Don't shake it off and I'm all right. Take it seriously. CTE, chronic traumatic encephalitis, otherwise known as being punch drunk, is a real thing. Early onset dementia is a real thing. Motor neuron disease is a real thing. And all these concussions have been linked to those conditions with some pretty conclusive links over the last decade. And it's well overdue that our sport has taken it seriously because previously we haven't. We've known of players who've had concussions and been back playing the next day when really they were like, there's been players who've been sitting in the cafe with no idea where they were, like very bad concussions, knocked out, vomiting, that sort of stuff, and coming back and playing again the next day. And the long-term impacts of that are just disastrous because you don't know it at the time because it's a slow burn, but it's something that we certainly need to be taking seriously. And finally we are, which is good. Even though if it happens to you, it's pretty damn frustrating. But frustration or motor neuron disease? Frustration for me, thanks. Right, so and it's great that they're taking it seriously last because it's been a very, very long time. It's been very long overdue. And there's been a few of us who've been kind of nudging away at it in the background for years, saying, look, we really need to take this more seriously than we have been. We can't just rely on players to self-report because they won't.
I guess even from my perspective, with the hit I took, it was probably at least 2 weeks before I was actually capable of functioning again. Like I had language problems, couldn't remember what I was doing, and it's not a good time. So
How do I know that's different to normal?
me, wow, I mean, probably said fucking a few more times.
Bloody farmers. Bloody farmers. But
No, I had to completely rehash all my work schedule in terms of no heavy machinery operations, no power tools.
And obviously you recognise that it was a serious issue, and it is, and it's something that again, it's long overdue. I know we kind of segued a little bit off because we were talking about Zen states and getting your brain in the right place to play finals, but it was kind of a convenient segue. The point is that we want to make sure as much as possible that we recognise it for what it is, which is finals. We'll get back onto finals now, that we're playing finals and they are different because there's more pressure. But the game itself is the same. We play the same game plan. We do the same things. We focus on the same things. We still look at 3 things we want to improve throughout the game. And if we do all those things right, we give ourselves a good chance of winning. But that's all we can do. The really valuable thing from the point of view of coming at it from a coach's perspective is what we want to see out of you as teams is sticking together as a team no matter what happens. Win, lose, doesn't matter. Someone makes a catastrophic mistake and lets through a really easy goal or whatever. You know what? You don't beat up on them. You support them. All right. That's our culture. That's what we value. And that's hopefully what we've managed to get instilled in all of you throughout the season as much as we possibly can. And I've spoken about it a lot in pre-games and post-games and a lot of time here as well. You're all going to make mistakes. Sometimes those mistakes will look pretty bad and sometimes they'll give away goals. But that's the nature of learning and it's the nature of the program. And you don't beat up on someone if they make a mistake. And when you make a mistake, and you do your best not to beat up on yourself as well. We all are here to learn and improve. And as long as we remember that and win, lose or draw, we do it as a team and we stick together as a team and we support each other as a team, that's absolutely fundamental to what we hope that we've managed to pass on to you as a playing group. We will be discussing values and so forth in the pre-game briefings before the game, before the final and before the semi-final and the grand final. In the semi-final for both teams. So Mia and I will have whiteboards and we'll be saying, righto, these are our values. We're going to be true to them, and we want you guys to contribute to those values and explain them. We're not going to be talking tactics because we know that. We're not going to be talking plays because we know that. We can rehash stuff if someone says, "Hey, I can't remember how to do this." Because I guarantee, if you stick your hand up and say, I don't know how to do this, I don't remember this," and you're brave enough to do it, there'll be 5 other people in the room that were wanting to say the same thing, but didn't because they were scared of standing out. Guarantee it. Okay, so if one of you says, "Hey, can we go through this again?" We will say, "Absolutely, of course we can," and there'll be about 4 or 5 other people who'll be going, "Oh, I didn't have to do that. Someone did it for me." Good teammates, yeah? Right, so it doesn't matter if you don't remember stuff. We won't do it for you, but if you ask, we will do it. We will, if you know what I mean. So we're not going to start off at the start of the pre-game and start going through the D-zone face-off again. If someone says, "Hey, can you remind me of what to do that?" then we'll remind everyone. And if you want to talk to us beforehand and say, "Hey, can we just go through that for the group? Or can we go through that just for me?" We'll then make sure we go through that for the group as well, because I guarantee that if there's 1 or 2 of you who aren't sure, there's another half a dozen who don't know as well, but we'll just kind of wing it through the pre-game rather than ask the question because I don't want to be embarrassed. It's just the way we are as humans. So don't be afraid to talk to me offline or in the session. You won't be the only one with questions, but primarily we want to talk about values and what we stand for, because I think that's cool. So with that in mind, what are our values?
Have fun.
Yeah. Well, that's a big one. Just stand by for a second. I'm going to pull up a screen. I've got it here somewhere. I think I've still got it. 1 second. Oops, no, not concussion. That's not the one I wanted. Get out of that page. What else?
Safety.
Yep.
Teamwork.
Yep.
Competitiveness.
Have I spelled that right? Probably not.
Learning.
Learning. Yeah.
Beat you.
Sorry about my typing. It's getting worse, not better. Concussion, yeah. Okay, I'm not dribbling. Yeah, I'm not dribbling.
Fairness and sportsmanship.
Oops, what just happened on the mouse?
Sorry, sportspersonship.
Yeah, just good sports. Being good sports. It takes the gender out of it, makes it easy. Anything else? Doesn't matter. We will expand on those things. Competitor should be a T, not a D.
Just being part of a team.
I spelled that wrong. Who's French here and actually gets us who can spell esprit properly? Anyone?
Esprit de corps.
Yeah, teamwork.
That's what I was thinking.
It's being part of a team,
That's it.
which is a big thing. But I've spelled esprit wrong there. My French is about as I can say bird.
ESPERIT, I think, Carl.
ESP.
ERIT.
Yep, that'll do. It's French enough. And some cheese, because cheese is good. Actually, I prefer blue brie, but regardless. Anything else?
Yeah.
Just having a go, really.
That's it.
Respect.
All right, that's probably enough. So let's drill into them a little bit and see what they actually mean. Let's go right up to the first one. What do we mean by fun? Because fun, I know I've spoken this in a few pre-games and so forth, but fun means a lot of things to a lot of different people. What do you guys think is fun?
Just enjoying yourself.
Yep, that's pretty vague. What's enjoying yourself mean?
being happy.
Mhm.
Talking to each other and having a laugh on the bench.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Having a skate with your mates.
winning games. It's fun.
Mhm. Yep.
Learning how to play the game is fun as well. Executing the plan is fun.
Shooting goals is fun and stopping them from the other end.
We're going to get a goalie goal from you, Katie.
If we get 3-on-3, I'll definitely try.
Might as well have a go, but be slow ice. Good luck. Have you been practicing?
I'd have to move up the ice.
Have you been practicing? No, you got to practice them.
That's what I said. Before we do penalties, we go 3-on-3, then we go 1-on-1 goalie versus goalie, and then penalty, and then shootout.
Goalie versus goalie with no other skaters would almost be like sumos on ice.
Yeah, you just put the puck in the middle, you both start at your net and see who wants to go for the puck first.
The rink has had occasionally, and I seriously,
Yeah, it's been like a only goalie scrimmage, and
I think it's terrible when they go. I think it's really unsafe. Goalie gear is not designed for skating around in. It provides marginal protection on your back. The risk of knee injuries, in particular, with all those pads on, I think is well and truly not worth the fun that it may be. We wear the gear that we wear for a good reason. We talk about safety, and then we say, "Hey, let's have a bunch of people playing in goalie gear." A small part of me is saying that's insane, and a big part of me is saying just don't do it. Fun, yeah, fun is different to different people. I get that, but it's also about risk management, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's probably perfectly good fun to jump out of an aeroplane, but I wouldn't do it because parachutes fail sometimes.
There you go. Being safe is fun.
Yeah, to an extent. You can be too safe.
Well, we all like to know that we're not going to break a leg when we play. Ideally.
I've had a broken goalie chesty and got a big fat bruise. I fixed it after that game.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so there are ideas of fun. Anyone got anything they want to add to that? There's been a few people who've been quite vocal, but a few of you who've said nothing. It's a big thing.
that looks pretty fun to me.
Just the game is fun.
It is. Anything to do with ice hockey is fun.
That's right. Everything about it is fun.
Including recovering from injuries.
Oh, even recovering is fun.
That is not fun. That is not fun.
I'll tell you what is fun, and you're right, it's playing the game. And my own personal experience here is I haven't played in finals for about 5 years. My teams that I've been in have been bottom of the league for a long time, whatever grades they're in. And this particular season, guess what?
We're both there.
My team, the team I play for, is in the finals.
Oh.
Guess what?
What?
You can't play yet?
Oh.
So I can't play.
Oh, no.
So here's the thing. And I think this is a really, really big one. And it's one that I want to really make sure you guys get. And that is treasure the experience. Right? I'm going to add that into this fun thing.
Having spoken to Carl after his last game, he was, at least on my judgment, pretty upset about missing finals. That was probably the most important thing, really.
It's the experience.
Absolutely.
So you're all fortunate this season. You're all getting at least one final. Unfortunately, you can't both play the grand final. It doesn't work like that. It'd be nice if it could, but inarguably that's even worse. But at least one team is going through the grand final, and both of you have made finals. You may never make finals ever again. May not ever happen. Or you may get dozens of them. I don't know. But either way, no matter what, you come into these games and you treasure the experience.
The atmosphere.
Value it, cherish it. It doesn't matter if you want to lose. You're there, you're in finals, and you know what? That is just amazingly good fun. That's fun times a million.
It's our Stanley Cup.
The closest you're getting.
This is my first final, so I'm pretty stoked. I mean,
Value it, right? Just cherish it, live it, no matter what. Come along excited to the games. Get dressed up if you want. We love it when you do. We like if people come along to finals getting a bit dressed up for them. And
Yeah.
I think that's great, but you don't have to if you don't want to.
What, like in a gorilla suit, or what's the
Nah,
difference?
I'm wearing a suit. I've been thinking about that all week.
Kind of a hockey thing. But you don't have to. Again, we're not saying you have to, but live it up.
Yeah.
You're not going to get many of these. And as you go up through the grades, it gets harder. The nice thing about this particular division, there's only 4 teams, so 3 of the 4 teams are getting into the finals. You go up through the grades, there's 7, 8, 12 teams. The odds just purely by rolling the dice get lower as you get into grades with bigger teams. You might not play very many final series again. Or you may play again, you may play dozens, but whatever it is, take this experience and just love it. Love the experience. Okay, live it as best you can. It's going to have highs, it's going to have lows, but wow, finals. It's the best.
Hell yeah, Carl.
The best. So much fun. Anyway, so yeah, with that in mind, safety. What do you mean by safety?
Your equipment.
Yep.
Giving other people space and yourself space instead of just using somebody else as a bouncing board to stop yourself.
Proper education on the safety aspects of the game. How to play properly, how to play safely.
Looking after yourself and everybody else.
You've all seen the video of people running into each other near the boards and breaking limbs, haven't you?
Yeah.
Make sure we don't do that as best we can. There's injury risk in the game that we can't eliminate, and then there's things that we can eliminate. And the one that we can eliminate is being hit from behind near the boards. We can take that out of the game if we're just smart about it. Okay. I mean, there's going to be collisions on the ice. There's going to be my concussion was just me. I didn't touch anyone. I just basically blew an edge. Tried to do a pivot and just mucked it up and went slamming backwards, back head first on the ice. That wasn't anything that anyone else could do. I did that to myself. But we can always protect each other near the boards. It doesn't mean we shirk contact, because it is a contact sport and you are allowed push and shove, and we still battle in the slot, but we don't let it escalate. We keep it under control. Even though it's a final, and even though we're excited, and even though all those fun things includes trying to win the game, because we are trying to win the game and not pretending that we're not. Okay, we keep a lid on it. We keep ourselves under control. We're not trying to hurt anyone, and we will go out of our way not to hurt people.
Yeah.
Okay. What about teamwork? That's again, it's one of those kind of vague and nebulous terms, isn't it? What does it really mean?
Being there for each other.
Again, that's kind of vague. What does that mean?
Just
Putting the team first over your own individual goals.
To an extent. Like, can you give me an example of that?
Trusting people.
No, what Katie just said. Can you give me an example? Something concrete.
Say you're in the offensive zone and you're trying to score a goal, but you're not the best option to score a goal, and you've got a teammate that's open, but you want to score the goal, so you shoot it anyway, and then you overturn the puck.
We've kind of encouraged people to develop that mentality, though, haven't we? So
yeah.
What's another example of something that's similar? Picture a similar scenario, but a good piece of teamwork.
Talking on the ice, making sure that you're an option for your team.
Get changes. Okay. No matter who scores the goal, as long as the goalie scored. So if you've been on the ice for 30 seconds, 40 seconds, and you've then gone sprinting up the ice and you think you're a pretty good chance, but you're gassed and you know you can't sprint back. Should you be getting a change?
No, get that goal.
That's good. That's good teamwork. Set your teammates up to score the goal. All right. That's good teamwork. To my mind, it's not who scores it, it's that the goal is scored. And you're more likely to score goals in the first 20 seconds of a shift than any other stage of it. There's statistics after that would show it. But it's also true. And it also means it's selfish play to stay on the ice for too long, because you're then no longer a good teammate. It's different for goalies. Goalies wouldn't necessarily understand that because they're on the ice the whole time. So I get that might not have necessarily popped into your head there, Katie. But for those of us that skate around, if I can't skate back at full gas, I should have changed. And that's me being a good teammate, regardless of whether or not I want to score personal goals. I haven't scored a point for 2 seasons. There's a reason for that. I'm always on in defensive presses. And as soon as we get the puck out, I've been on the ice for 35 seconds. I know I need to get a change. So I change, and my other centre, who's Colette, whatever her name, she jumps on and scores goals almost straight away after my shift ends. And it's happened about 8 or 9 times. But you know what? That's my goal. I scored that goal because I set her up to score it. She's jumped on, fresh as a daisy, scores. Yes, and the team's like, yay, Colette. And I'm like, you know what? That's a team goal, and I contributed to that by being a good teammate. And that's what we can be good teammates by, and good teamwork, by keeping those shifts short and setting up our teammates for success. Personally, I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Set your teammates up for success. What else is a really valuable part of teamwork? Because that's important, but what else?
Getting to know your teammates
Names.
on a personal level.
Yep.
Yeah.
We don't. Everyone doesn't necessarily have to all be, great mates off the ice, though, do we? Because we're not.
No, but that's personal hockey level, yeah.
What else? How do we? What are some of the big things that make us a good team?
Trusting your teammates to do their job.
Yep. Not trust. Trust.
So loose puck in D zone corner. D should be mopping that up. Wingers should not be getting tucked into the far extremities of the ice, thinking, "Oh yeah, I can do that better."
What else? That's a good one. There's something else that's really, really important that we do to help each other on the ice.
Talk.
Yeah, communication. In what way?
In every way.
Calling for passes is valuable, but what else? What's even more valuable than causing the passes than calling for passes?
Letting someone know where to pass the puck.
Yep.
Positioning at face-offs.
Positioning your face-offs isn't really a teamwork thing, though, is it? Oh, yeah, it is too, because you're reminding people. Yep, and I'll play that. Yep.
Like, yep, old mate, you're not supposed to be there. Go over there.
Yep. That's a big one. But I think the big one for us is not only the short shifts, because that is absolutely fundamental and core. And trusting is a big one too. You've got to let your teammates learn, develop, and make mistakes. It doesn't matter where it is in the game. It doesn't matter, if it's 3-on-3 overtime and you think you can get there before your teammate, but your teammate's in a better position. You let your teammate in a better position do their job. Let them learn. Let them develop. Let them make the mistake. And then when the mistake happens, if it does, accept that that's part of it. The communication's critical too, though, isn't it? And why is that?
You can let people know if you're gassed and you're coming off. They might be watching the game and not paying attention. You can say
they should be watching you, though, shouldn't they? Because really, you want to get on the ice, yeah.
Yeah.
I know if I'm next shift, I'm watching my player because I want to get on the ice. Come on, get up! I want to get on. I want to get on. I want to get on. Come on! So I'm watching more time. Again, different for goalie because you're always on the ice.
I know. There's sometimes when I'm skating as well, I do get caught up in the game. I'm normally watching my player to see when they're coming off, but every now and then something happens and you're like, and all I can hear is someone screaming my name and you're like, oh shit, I've got to get on the ice.
I had that happen a couple of weeks ago. Same thing. The guy I was replacing, I didn't know who he was, but it was a different player, and he's skating on. He's yelling at me. I'm like, what? Oh, oops. Yeah, so that's a good part of it too. But what's our? We talk about this in the pregame, and we know pretty much now by rote what it is. The one-word summary of our game is what?
Pressure.
So how do we relieve pressure from our teammates? How do we be a good teammate? We've mentioned it, but let's just go over it again because it's pretty critical.
Communicate with them. Yeah.
Tell them what to do.
Yeah.
We now understand that because we know under pressure you make mistakes. We're human. It's what we do. Under pressure, we make mistakes. If we can reduce that pressure by having some part of that decision making taken away from us by our teammates giving us good help, good instructions, up, over, pass to me, or pucks at you, or feet, or anything like that, or chip it up the boards, or ice it, or whatever, some useful piece of instruction to a player who's under pressure can help. And that's being a good teammate. Well, I think that will make a huge difference to how we work together as a team. There's some ways to do it and some ways not to do it as well. Now, when we're all on the bench, we have a pretty good view of the game, don't we?
Yeah.
And you recognize things pretty quickly. Like we know our 1-2-2 forecheck. From the bench, we're the best at it, yeah? Everyone on the bench is the best at executing a 1-2-2 forecheck, aren't we? We're all really good at it on the bench. How can we on the bench help our teammates who are under pressure on the ice execute, for example, a 1-2-2?
Well, we scream it as loud as we can.
Does it work?
Sometimes.
How can we make it work better?
Name and instruction.
Name and instruction. Hey, Thatchy, go in.
I won't hear that.
Thatchy, in. All right. There's no point, and we hear it a lot because we all do it. Like someone, like say for example, we're defending and there's someone loose in the slot. Someone on the bench is going to be yelling out slot, 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 slot at the top of their voice. It's not going to make any difference because no one on the ice is going to recognize that. If on the other hand I yell out, Dan, slot, Dan goes, oh, because I've identified him. He's actually got a reason to listen, and it might make a difference. The same with the 1-2-2. We might say, Thatch, go in, or Thatch, stay high, something like that.
Yeah.
Got to use the name first. Otherwise, it's just noise and it just gets lost in the symphony. So
Unless you're yelling shoot, then it doesn't matter.
what does that? There's some funny jokes and memes that have floated around on the internet for years about everyone in an 18,000 seat arena all yelling out shoot. Be greedy, take shots. That's where we don't want you to be selfish. We want you to shoot the puck on the net because not enough people have I'm going to score a goal mentality, and you do need that. So that's one of the few times when we actually want you to be selfish. If you're in position to take a shot, take a shot. Make the goal. Make the goal.
Carl.
Right? You got to do it. It's just not going to go in if you don't. I promise. It won't.
But percentage-wise as well, our passing ability, you're better off putting it on the net and going for the rebound than trying to do anything remotely complex.
Yeah.
100%.
Simple pass across the slot is okay. Anything more sophisticated than that, no, it's not going to happen.
Well, it'll completely skittle whoever it's going to, bounce off the boards.
Maybe. Sometimes it works. And when it does, it's like, yay. But
when it does, we look like fucking legends. But
1 in 50. That's why they make because they're rare. Man bites dog, yeah? That's rare. So we do the simple stuff, we do it well. Which comes down to being competitive. How do we be competitive?
Yeah, play fierce.
Fierce, yeah? What does that mean?
You let them know you're there.
Yeah. Is there a way to do that that's not being a hoon?
Yep, you chirp them from the bench.
No, we don't do that.
No, you can play fierce, but do it nicely at the same time.
If we chirp off from the bench, that's not respectful, is it?
It depends on what you say.
There's a general we don't talk to the opposition from the bench at all.
You don't let them get under your skin.
Yep.
And remain composed.
Composure's a big one.
and stay out of the box.
Yeah.
You score goals. That's probably a big one of being competitive.
Yeah.
Yep. Just skate hard whenever you're on the ice.
Yep. Anything
Try
else?
and be first to the puck.
Sorry?
First to the puck.
Yep.
Nice one, Scotty.
And back checking.
Every sort of checking apart from the checking where you hit someone. Back check, forward check, poke check.
But no cross check.
No cross check.
You got the paycheck. That's the most important.
Mate, if you're getting a paycheck, you're doing well. Don't tell Carl.
No one around here is getting paid to play hockey. I'm coaching the thing and I don't get paid. I'm a volunteer, so you guys don't get paid to do it. I even volunteer for Wednesday nights. I'm not paid for that one either. I wanted to do it. So competitive is being fierce, but fierce is not being aggressive. Fierce is being assertive. And it's a bit subtle at times. But again, we're not trying to hurt someone. But again, if there's a battle in the slot, I want to win that battle.
Yeah.
I want to have my stick where I want it.
Competitive is giving your best.
Yeah.
Playing hard.
Doing the best you can do, but bearing in mind too that we have to remember safety and respect.
Come in with a desire to win.
Yeah. I would say a desire to be the best player that I can be on the day.
If that involves a goal, then that's even better.
Winning result is a result of the process.
You gotta hate to lose.
We're not playing at the no-show.
You'll be married to the game.
All the cliches are coming out now, and I get it. It's late on a Tuesday night, and even Thatcher's even hiding in his car.
Oh. I know how the mighty have fallen.
But yeah, being fierce is earning the respect of your opponents by being not a pushover. Is probably the best way to put it.
Yeah, just Breton my mindset. No one's getting a shot in our goalie.
Yeah, doing your job to the best of your ability, and not letting your opponents put you off your game.
Yeah, just play hard. That's all it is.
That's a big one. What about learning?
Oh, that's been the whole game.
Practice, listening.
Yep.
Communicating, everything. I learn every single time I get on that ice.
Do something better every game.
Being receptive to feedback.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Thank you. Otherwise known as being coachable. This is a huge one. Okay. It's really hard. Really, really hard to be coachable. I'm terrible at it. I'm the worst person to get coached because I know what the game should be and they're wrong and I'm right. All right. But it's actually a really challenging thing to be a coachable athlete, to be a coachable player. Because you've got to be able to listen to feedback and not take it personally. Take it as an instruction to how to be better. It's not you're bad. It's like, this will make you better. You'll be better if you do this. You'll be better if you do this. You'll be better if you do this. Things will work better if you do this. And understanding it, and also understanding that it's coming from a position which is outside the little bubble that you're in. Because every time we jump out on the ice, we're in our own little perception of reality, aren't we? And you know what? It's very, very tainted by our own rose-colored glasses. Very much so. And we all do it. Sometimes we do it the other way. Sometimes we have brown-tinted glasses instead of red-tinted glasses. We think everything we do is shit, right? And that's wrong as well. Okay, so that objective input that someone on the bench who is watching you objectively can give you is much more valuable than your own perception of what you think is happening. Most of it, not always, but probably about 99.9% of the time. Right? Because our own little reality bubble is clouded by what goes on inside our noggins, which is pretty poor. I know certainly from my own experience, I've gone back and watched videos of plays where I could have sworn black and blue that there's no way I should have been given a penalty for that. Then I looked at the video and gone, oh yeah. Yeah, I did do that. I don't remember doing that, but I did it because you can see it. And the video is not telling lies, and I did run the guy into the boards.
Video doesn't lie.
Well, AI can, but there's no AI happening. No one's going to the trouble. So yeah, we can being coachable is a huge thing. It's really, really big. So how can you be more coachable? What are some of the things that you can take on board to be a more coachable player?
Listen to the feedback that you've been given and then going back and watching the game, considering we have the opportunity to. Seeing if you can apply that feedback into your next shift.
Yep.
Check your ego. Yeah.
That's big.
It's difficult sometimes. We've certainly had players that couldn't do it. There's been players that have come through programs, and you'll run into them throughout your careers who are just uncoachable. They won't listen to feedback, or they'll listen and they'll just ignore it, or they'll actively undermine it. We've had players come through our program who've actively undermined our game plan in the past, like telling other players, "No, don't do it like that. Do it like this," even though we've actually got a plan trying to execute. We know about it. We're here. It's rare, but it certainly does happen. Anything else?
It's a bit of an aside, but I think without sounding too much like a sycophant, one of your great strengths as a coach, Carl, is that you deliver feedback in a very professional and appropriate manner. Like there's no reason I can think of that you wouldn't go, okay, cool, no worries.
Mm.
You know, you're objective, you're non-confrontational, you're honest. And that's a great strength. So
been doing it for a while, but thank you for noticing. I have a lot of experience as a coach, and I've also had a lot of experience seeing good coaches and bad coaches. I worked in the National Track Cycling Sprint program for about 10 years at elite level, so national competition, international competition sort of stuff. And our head coach was a tyrant, and he broke so many athletes. And I was part of that program and was doing everything I could to try and fix the people who were getting broken, to keep them in the program, keep them going. Because people were real genuine national talent who could have gone on and been international level athletes, blowing up because this guy was just ripping them to shreds all the time. So I've seen how not to do it. But the key too there is to understand that we're not always going to necessarily get each other. We've all got different approaches to how we communicate, how we talk to each other, how we listen, and what frame of mind we're in. And sometimes people are not in the frame of mind to be listened at all. We had an incident at a Wednesday night training session not that long ago where I was trying to give feedback to a skater, and she said to me, "I can't cope with that right now. I'm in the wrong state of mind." So I just backed off straight away. It would have just been taken all out of context. So you guys have a responsibility to tell Mia and I if what we're telling you isn't getting through, or if it's not the right time. You can just say, "Not right now," and that's fine, and we'll stop. And then when you're ready, you can say, "Hey, that thing you were talking about earlier, do you want to talk about it now?" Once you're in the right frame of mind to actually listen, because we're all, especially on finals, pressure, right? Under finals and pressure situation, that ability to remember that communication is a two-way process.
Yeah, it's a respect thing.
But there are some times when we will need to tell you, and you just need to shut up and listen.
Yeah.
And other times when we can be a little bit polite. Has anyone ever sailed on a yacht?
Yeah.
Nope.
Jesus, fuck, man. How much money do you think we make?
Yes. Yeah. Wednesdays, Saturdays, hockey, Sundays, yacht racing.
But you can crew people are always looking for crew on yachts, and there's a reason for that. Especially the big boats, they need people, and they churn through them pretty quickly because a yacht is an unforgiving environment. The wind doesn't stop doing what the wind's doing. You can't say, "Hey, blow the whistle," and the wind stops. So you need to do things when you're told to by the skipper, and sometimes skippers have an abrupt manner. And I tell you what, they say, "Do this," you just do it.
I just thought you were going to say that people who own yachts are assholes.
But yeah, anyone here who owns a but yeah, those sorts of team environments where there's times when there's room to be polite and discuss things, and there's a lot of times when you just need to just do what you're told. And it's the nature of communication and understanding it. So being coachable is a huge thing. And again, it's a two-way process. Bear in mind too that Mia and I are going to make mistakes. We're going to get it wrong. We're going to misread you. We're going to misread the situations because we're human and we make mistakes too. No matter how experienced we are, we get it wrong. Me is pretty new to it, and I've been doing it for donkey's years across a whole heap of different sports, and I get it wrong quite a lot. So when we bugger up, we're part of your team. Be nice to us too,
Mm.
because we're going to make mistakes, and we just roll with it. It's a game. It's part of it. It's part of learning. Fair play and good sport. What does that mean?
Playing true to the game.
Yeah. Again, that's pretty vague. What does it mean?
Oh, I am so vague. I'm sorry. Every time I answer.
Have you had a concussion?
No, I've just been up since 3:45 today.
If you have an accident on the ice where you have run into somebody, instead of just skating off, just ask if they're okay and apologize. Let them know, hey, sorry, I didn't mean that. Are you okay? See if they need a hand.
Good sportsmanship.
Yeah.
Respect the refs and officials.
Yeah.
Be great.
Sometimes
When you're winning and
they'll make calls we don't like, won't they?
sorry.
Sometimes refs and officials will make calls we don't like, won't they?
Yeah.
Never. No one.
Sometimes they'll even be wrong, although it's much less often than you think. But sometimes they'll be wrong.
Just with icing.
I was saying a couple of the Tigers guys the other day. I umpired Australian rules at a very high level, and the further you go up the chain, the easier it is to officiate. Trying to umpire Div 10 as an official would be a nightmare because you've got to try and balance intention, skill, knowledge of the rules, and everything else. And a lot of the contact and incidental things that happen aren't malicious. It's just down to our skill level.
Absolutely.
And, you know, when you're umpiring or officiating a high grade of sport, you can read the play, you can see what's going on, and it's an absolute snap. But yeah, Div 10 would be incredibly difficult to officiate.
Yeah. There's something else about it too, and this is unfortunately it's a cultural thing that happens in a lot of groups. They typically give the least experienced referees the lowest grade games.
Yeah, they do it in all sports, and it's awful.
It's absolutely the wrong way around. Totally backwards. Because
they should be coming in at 5 and then working down, then going up.
Because as you say, it's so much harder to referee the lower grades than it is to referee the high grades. So
I've umpired AFL football, so I can stand there and say with hand on my heart, starting in amateurs, going to the way up the top, it's shocking not to deal with, but to try and officiate lower grade sport.
So what does that tell us as coaches and players about when we're on the ice and the referee make a call that we don't necessarily agree with?
Tolerance, respect, understanding.
Just move on.
Yeah.
They don't know shit.
The way I explain it when I'm doing commentary, because we see things because I did commentary for a lot of the games as well and did commentary for pro leagues and so forth. When a referee makes a call that you can see quite clearly from your angle is different, you say, well, that's the way the referee saw it.
Yeah. You're never going to get a call reversed.
From their angle, that's what they saw. And so therefore that's what happened. And that's just how it has to be. That's what they saw from their angle. That's the call.
And I guess there's recourse as well. Like, I don't know what hockey umpiring's like, but certainly football, you have your meetings twice a week. We'd talk through contentious decisions or things we could have done better, and we try and improve. And the refs are no different to us in that regard.
Absolutely. So yeah, it's from our perspective, it's a really valuable point to make sure that we respect our refs and officials. And Katie points out again, someone falls over, make sure they're okay. I know certainly when I gave myself that concussion, straight away my goalie was like, "Shit, mate, are you all right?" And I'm like rolling around going,
It looked terrible from the bar when we saw
it. And then one of the players from the other team took a shot at me. I didn't see it, of course, because I was face down on the ice trying to work out where I was. And she took a bloody pop shot at me. And the irony is, she actually used to be a teammate of mine years ago. It's just, there's a puck and you've got a blindly at the net. But here I'm lying on the ground going, at least for that time, they kind of rolled on in my front. That was about it. I wasn't getting up. So yeah, that sort of awareness of the situation. If you see someone's hurt, you stop. And that whole thing about running into people from behind, that is an avoidable collision. That is a totally avoidable situation. It should never happen. Again, skill level mixed with pressure from finals, things get a bit more intense. Everyone's yelling out, go, 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 go. And you can see it's you and someone else and you're valuing the puck and all those things we've been talking about. And now all of a sudden you have to back off a little bit or give a bit of space. You have to manage that. Okay, it's critical. It's really important. So many things are really important, aren't they? Everything's cool. Anything else?
Be gracious when you win and lose.
Yeah. It's a good contest.
Yeah.
And enjoy the contest. If you enjoy the contest and you play to the best of your ability and you execute your game plan well, the scoreboard's incidental. I've had more fun in games when I've lost than most games that I've won. Because when I come off from a game that I won, I got, no, I didn't really do that well. We got a bit lucky. Whereas the games that you played your game plan well, it's worked or it hasn't. It's like, that was really good. So this weekend, Mia and I will be taking a team each. We don't know which one. I haven't decided yet which way we'll make that go. We may well toss a coin or something, or we might just reverse the last one. We may stick with the same one. It kind of depends a little bit. Doesn't really make that much difference. You're going to get the same message from both of us. The sad part about it is that this weekend will be one of the two teams' last game as a team. Okay, no matter what happens, one of the two of you is not going through to the next game. And after that next game, no matter what, it's the last game for that team. Okay, and then that whole esprit de corps dissolves a bit, and we move on to new teams. So what we want you to do very much is to just value the experience playing finals. It's just awesome. It's a real privilege to be able to do it. No matter what happens, live it, love it. Go out afterwards and celebrate, commiserate, or both. Ideally, we'd like to see both teams do things together, but we're not going to force it on you. But we'd like it if it happened. We can't force it on you anyway. You're all adults, but organised a squad. We all go down to the local, I don't know, the Sporting Globe or whatever it is, and have a nosh up, something like that. I know certainly myself and Mia and Jane would be thrilled if that happened, but we can't make it happen. We'll just say it would be great if you did.
Yeah, I think we've already got the chat going to organise pizza after the game.
Pizzas are good.
It's the great equaliser.
That's all I got. We know the plan. We know what to do. We know what we stand for.
Bring on finals.
Let's have fun.
Lucky, lucky bastards.
But whatever happens, whoever wins, we have to put the lights out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What's that? Now you've lost me. Is this a piece of millennial jargon? I don't know.
No, the Southern Light.
Southern Lights.
Oh, harsh. We just play the best we can play.
Sorry?
We just play the best we can play.
Wow.
They've
Come on.
been a very fair, very reasonable team all season. They've done nothing wrong.
This is part of our values. We're being competitive right now.
If the Jokers win, I will be there supporting the Jokers on grand final.
Yeah. I think one of their players is leading penalty minutes for the league.
Yes, I know. Elbow connected with my head. So
yes, that's the guy that shoved me down a couple of times as well.
You're up there. Players who spent some time in the box too.
True. Yeah, we've got a few as well.
Most of the time, it's unintentional. One of our guys keeps tripping people over, and he came up to me and spoke to me a couple of weeks ago, saying, "How can I stay out of the box? I'm tripping people up all the time." I said, "Well, be a little bit more careful with your stick." But really, if you're contesting the puck, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Those things you can't. You're going to get penalties if you're in the play. It's as long as they're not bad sports sort of penalties, like I'm not boarding someone or cross-checking them or anything, or deliberately tripping them. But you're going to have collisions, and especially if you win those collisions, and when you do, you're probably going to get a penalty. Or you're going to trip someone up by mistake. I know I've been pinged for tripping when I was just playing the puck and stuck my stick out to get the puck, and all of a sudden there was someone's foot in the way. Whoops! And they go, "Wee!" Oh, mate, you're right. Didn't mean it. It happens. It's a commitment, you like it or not. All right. Anyone got anything they want to add? Mia? You're all good?
Yeah, I'm psyched for the weekend.
Yeah.
Going to be good fun.
Certainly.
So does this mean there'll be a Zoom next Tuesday, but only for one of the teams? Yeah.
Although the other, like, to be fair, if anyone from the other team wants to listen, you're perfectly welcome to. It won't be a game. It probably won't be a game analysis, so we might look at some aspects of it.
Yeah.
Because again, we're looking at improving, and you can't improve if you don't see what you've done, because otherwise you don't know what you're improving on.
Mm.
The reason we didn't do one this week is because the previous game is too long ago.
Yeah.
Over a week, and there's not really much point because it's all kind of forgotten. And it's the same opposition, I think. Yeah, it's another derby, so we're basically repeating what we did last week. And the only question is who's going to execute it better? And to be perfectly honest, who's going to get the luck?
Yep.
Because goals are luck. There's a lot of skill as well, but when the two teams are pretty even, it comes down to lucky bounces and the fortune of rolling the dice. But you have to roll the dice to have the fortune.
Shoot on the net. Hey, I've been getting better.
Shoot on the net and then rebound.
Like, you jokers have done a fantastic job with that.
Oh, keep telling us. Go on.
I love you.
Don't worry. What you don't know, Scotty's been training like an absolute demon for the last month on skating. He's like 10 times faster than he was.
Yeah, probably.
Nice, Scotty.
I've been smashing
You've been
discs around my shed. That's about it. So
Scotty's rollerblades. They help.
I need to get some so bad.
Not kidding, they help.
Yeah.
They don't help you to stop.
No, but conditioning and speed and yeah.
Tell the inline players because the buggers can't stop.
How do you stop on rollerblades?
I don't know.
Not like an ice hockey. You got to do
I
a
don't
T
get it.
stop or just turn and wash off speed. But yeah, there's no quick way to do it.
I'm an ice snob. I don't do inline.
When I was a kid, there used to be this little kind of weird bumper on the back.
Yeah.
They pulled off as soon as you got the skates.
What's that, roller skates, not rollerblades?
They had them on, roller skates had the knob on the front. Rollerblades had it on the back. There used to be this thing on Wednesday night called the City Skate, and I don't know if it still runs or not. It was running for donkey's years, and it happened in the late 90s, and I used to do it. And we'd all meet up at somewhere in the city, and it was just like a group of maybe 50 to 100 people on rollerblades late at night on a Wednesday. It was like 10 o'clock at night or something, so the city was dead back then. And it'd go for this, you go this great big long rollerblade around the city. And someone had worked out that if you timed it right at the top of Collins Street, if you left at the right time and didn't stop, you could make it all the way the entire length of Collins Street, getting green lights all the way.
Oh, hell yeah.
Did that a number of times.
If you left at the right time, you'd get every single green light. At least the first half of the group would, and the second half, of course, would get a red light, but they'd be to it anyway. Because by that stage, we weren't stopping. And my only time I ever played inline hockey in any way, shape, or form was at the end of that. It would finish where the museum used to be, which used to be Museum Station, and it's now, I don't know what it's called. They changed its name. And there was this large paved area in front of the museum, and someone would have some sticks and someone would have a puck, and we'd play a little bit of hockey on that. And that was my only ever inline experience of playing inline hockey.
Well, we can get an inline league happening from here, kind of diverge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Use the ice, it's better.
There's
Reservoir used to be a role like an inline hockey rink, wasn't it?
In fact, the reason iceHQ exists is because Ross Fisher wanted to build an ice rink, and in order to pay for it, he set up puck handlers, which was at the same place, and it was in the same arena, and spent 10 years negotiating with the council to turn it into an ice rink. It took him 10 years to get it done. I did a history of it with him a few years ago in a great big long interview about how the whole process was. It was incredible because councils have massive turnover of staff. In particular, the engineers from councils have huge turnover because no one wants to do it. It's really hard, and everyone's an asshole on councils, and it's a horrible place to work. So they get these civil engineers who'd come along and work for council for a year or so and then leave. And of course, Ross would be working with that particular engineer trying to get everything all sorted out. Then that engineer would bugger off and have to start again. This went on for about 5 years. New engineer. Finally, they get an engineer who was on site and understood what they wanted to do, and then they'd leave. So it took 10 years to get the council's ultimate permission to build the rink. And now they're still negotiating about how to build the grandstanding there, which has been work in progress for at least 4 years.
Where is that grandstand going to go?
Where the benches are, over the top of them.
Right. But the word grand in that, so not much grandness in the.
It'll be about as grand as Oakley's seating arrangement, up a little higher. Pretty close. None of you probably remember Ringwood. Katie might, maybe.
I do.
You remember how Ringwood had the stand above the benches?
Yep.
Probably similar to that.
Yeah.
It works pretty well because you're up nice and high. You've got a pretty good view if it's steep enough.
Yeah.
When you see the game, you don't miss any bits of it. There's not much blind spots. They'll probably end up with seating for about 500 or so, maybe, give or take.
I didn't skate on that, by the way. I was just there watching.
You're watching I get into fights with people.
Yeah.
Pretty rough.
It was good. Winter was good.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. So that's we were hoping to have that done in time for the AWIHL, but I can't see it happening. It would have needed to start building it a month or so ago for that to happen, and I haven't seen anything along those lines. But they can put in portable grandstands, and we've done that in the past. I ran that for when the Pacific League was running there a couple of seasons ago. We had a portable grandstand that was set up, and they worked okay. Seated about 300-400, I think. And I'll tell you, that rink with 300 or 400 people in it, it's rocking.
Yeah.
Rocking, because it's a small rink, so you fill it, and it pumps. So when the Adelaide team came over and played the Melbourne Ducks for the PHL Grand Final Series, and they won it. Anyway, they were always going to win it. I shouldn't have, but they did. Better game plan, essentially. The place was full, and it was just out of control. It was incredible. It's brilliant. Such a good environment.
Where did those people park?
In the school.
Oh, wow.
Got permission from the school around the other side.
Yeah.
The school's car park.
Jeez.
And that worked. I think the biggest problem is probably toilets.
They're rough now as it is. But it's true.
But like there are rules about how many toilets you can have for capacity of venues and so forth, and that's probably a sticking point. Would be my guess. They sorted the parking out. There was actually an issue because this whole Pacific League was all set up and it was running, and they were starting to pull a decent crowd, and the car park was the first problem. And I remember at one point the council saying, you can't have this game here this weekend, like literally on the Thursday before the games were already scheduled for the weekend. So Ross is desperately trying to get something organised, and he's managed to get in touch with the school and begged, borrowed, paid them whatever on how it happened, but managed to get the school to let us use their car park. And so the parking problem was at least solved. That was, I think, for the Brisbane game. And then there was the game where there was a blackout. We lost power for about 3 hours. This huge storm rolled through and it hit something and the whole rink was blacked out. Not before game time. Before game time, fortunately, the power was back on about 10 minutes before the start of the game. Yeah, we were like, is this going to happen? Because it doesn't have a UPS. There's no generator there. Anyway, it's 9:23 on Tuesday night. And I'm sure you would all rather be playing with your various animals or your families or whatever than listening to me crap on. You on the weekend.
You will.
Thanks, Carl.
Good night, everyone.
I'm going to
Later,
the public skate on Saturday if anyone's going to be there.
Where's that?
Just the public skate on Saturday to use one of my free sessions from the Wednesday night training.
At iceHQ.
Yeah.
What time is it?
It'll be like 11:45 to 4 or something, or 3:45 or something usually.
I will keep you posted. I will be down Friday night, but we'll see.
Yep.
Because I want to fix my car. So we'll see.
The lights in it don't work very well.
Sorry?
Lights in it don't work very well. You're really dark.
We're not on, that's why. They don't work very well anyway. It's a terrible light. It's only 30 something years old, this car, and done 700,000 Ks.
That's just running, mate.
Yeah, it is. I've only rebuilt it twice. She's only just run in.
Starting to do well.
Oh,
Good night.
see you later, guys.
So,
Thanks,
Carl.
Carl.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Carl.